I didn't even eat my candy. Wait, it was watermelon the ones the whole time? Hey there, fellow sparklers. That's Britt.
That's Tiff.
And this is Quick Car Cuts, where we watch a movie in the cinema
and then talk about it in the car right afterwards.
Hence, the car.
And today we saw The Substance.
Whew. Ooh. I think the best way of going about it is inserting the video I took of us the second that the credits started rolling. Oh my God.
This was bonkers.
I knew going into this that it was supposed to be a very gnarly body horror film, and I thought I was prepared.
This was body yaddy yaddy
This
horror.
was body yaddy 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 horror. Oh my God.
This is a good thing. Please don't misinterpret my initial reaction. I can't speak for you, but my initial reaction was thinking it was a bad movie.
Oh no, it's not a bad movie. It just, I don't think I've had a movie shock me as much as the last 15 minutes of this movie did to me, and I'm still just processing it.
So, one thing I'll say, this is spoiler-free at this point, is that it didn't occur to me until we started the movie that I'm like, oh, I thought they had given us the whole plot in the trailer. Because the whole trailer, this isn't spoilers, they're like, yep, you are one. 7 days and 7 days. You are two sides of the same coin. You share equally. You are balanced. And then, of course, you think you understand that that's going to be the whole plot of the movie. And that's not necessarily it. There's more. There's more to it than that.
I will also say, not to go too much into this, I was kind of worried because I knew the general plot was a woman going quote-unquote past her prime and really about body image. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't have a good body image of myself, so I was kind of like, is this going to be a really bad experience for me? And there were some parts that were very hard to watch. But overall, wow. I will say I don't want to say I liked this movie because I feel like it's very much a watch once and will not watch again. The only time I think I would watch this again is to see other people's reaction to this movie. But it is a tough watch, but I'm glad we saw it. And it is good.
I'll agree with that. Keeping with my general thoughts of the movie, I thought it was very well done. As you can guess, there are probably themes in this movie, and social commentary. And while the social commentary is physically, visually in your face, it's not textually handed to you. So I think that if you wanted to ignore this, you'd probably have to have really strong blinders on to not get it.
Which is really funny because that essentially gives you tunnel vision, which is a big theme throughout the whole movie, is all these long tunnels. And that's one thing I'll say, it's very, very artistic.
Oh,
it's
yes.
very artistic. The bathroom...
Cinematography is a delight.
The cinematography is beautiful. The bathroom scene is so crisp white compared to like the dark, rich blues of the rest of the apartment.
The colors.
The colors are amazing. And I'll say, I give so much respect to the actresses in this movie because there is a lot of nudity. There are a lot of poses where they are in uncomfortable positions and their body is out there, and they did it beautifully.
And not just our two leads, too. Like, the two leads had the most exposure, but there's lots of body in this. And it's really interesting when you sit and think about it for a while.
And they do... Obviously, there is a lot of butt shots. There's a lot of things, which I'm losing my voice. That's how much we've kind of been yelling and screaming about this, is that it's shown to, they use it as a way to show that, quote unquote, Sue is mainly seen as a sex object, and it's in your face. But to me, it worked for the film, and it wasn't. It was gratuitous in the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was built for the male gaze, even though it was critiquing the male gaze, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Even from the trailer, I knew that Dennis Quaid's character was going to completely nauseate me, and they did not fail. Oh my god. Every time Dennis Quaid was on screen, I was like, bleh.
There can absolutely be dissertations made about this movie. Not just in, like, the plot, but just in how different elements like blocking and camera work and color all come together to tell that story. Beautiful. And I do want to talk about Demi Moore for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've never paid a whole lot of attention to Demi Moore
She's
in my life.
Esmeralda!
But, yeah. Oh my god, she is
gorgeous.
Killer in this movie.
Can we also talk about the fact that she's 63?
She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. She's 63, and they tried to make her look bad as a 50-year-old, and I'm like, try harder.
But also, like, watching her become unhinged as the movie went on
she's
was amazing.
so good. Is it just me, or did the older she get, the more she looked like Glenn Close?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to be the only person who thought that. I love Glenn Close. That's not a thing.
I feel like it's how they've made Glenn Close up in recent movies.
Exactly.
That's making you think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, more general thoughts before we get to spoilers.
I think I touched on everything I wanted to before spoilers. Because let's be honest, the main thing we want to talk about is the last 15 minutes of this movie.
Yes. So, if you want to skip spoiler talk, make sure that you go to this time code. We'll see you on the other side with our final thoughts and our ratings. So, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. So,
I never thought I'd see a bitch cough up a titty on the big screen.
whew. So the first shot that they do of the monster obviously is very terrifying, and I knew it was going to be terrifying, but I wasn't quite ready or mentally prepared for, like, the quick shot. Once you got to see it more, you're like, ooh, that's bad, but, like, that first shot, you're just like, oh my god, and it got me. It was very, very effective.
On that note, special effects in general throughout the whole movie,
Oh, so good.
wince-worthy. Like, they were not interested in realism at all, which is fine. You get this gist on very early on. This is a style movie, and that's totally fine. It gets you acquainted with that world really quickly. But the special effects throughout all of this movie are just
Beautiful.
a delight. I was trying hard not to cackle like a maniac near the end, because that was a show. Happy New Year's Eve, bitch.
So we are very chatty Cathys during a movie. We're still nice to the people around us, but we talk to each other very quietly.
Like,
we didn't talk at all during this movie. I think the only time was I leaned to you once and I went, "You're not even going to give her a bed to lay on? That's just rude."
right.
And that was the only thing that we said to each other we were silenced. And that it was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's hard to watch. But then just the bloodbath, we just started cackling because we didn't know what else to do, how else to process it.
When she started coughing and another orifice opened up and a booba came out, it was silent in the theater. There were like maybe 7 people total there. And she and I just started going,
We like grabbed each other and just started laughing.
It was one of those, it was shock laughter.
It was.
Because I never
I'm
thought
still in shock laughter
in a
right
million
now.
years that I would ever see anything like the last 15 minutes of that movie. And I thought, oh, cool, we're going to end with some...
I'm like, how do they keep going?
Like,
they kept going. I'm like, how is this ending?
Every time I thought we were at the end, we weren't. I was like, okay, we're going to have some poetic ending. And we did.
We did get a
eventually.
Eventually. We got there eventually.
And it was kind of satisfying to see the walls of that hallway just splashed in blood.
Oh, so nice.
Because, like, when you look at it, her blood made all of it. Like, made all of this fame and TV, and it was crazy.
The fact that they went just balls to the wall for the last, like, that as soon as the arm comes off and it's just a spiral shower of blood everywhere.
Constantly. Never ending.
It was amazing.
It's just... Okay.
Oh my God.
I can't...
I don't... We're still kind of in shock at this point.
This is a point where I want to remind people that quick car cuts are not... They're not like double feature where we've had time to sit with this.
They're not a thought out full review.
And they're not scripted, nothing. It is literally, we walked out of the theater like less than 10 minutes ago and we're in the car.
Trying to hold it together until we got in the car.
So, I don't have more nuanced thoughts for you.
Mm-mm.
I
will,
I would see it again. Maybe not in the theater, but to watch someone else watch it and see what they think.
That's honestly like one of our really good friends. I want to watch this so bad and I want to see her reaction. And I want to see if she goes as bonkers as we did.
And this is another thing I want to say is that movies are part of art, and art is not always pleasant, necessarily. It's not like, when I watch movies, I want to watch something that I'll enjoy, and that movie experience is different for everyone. They want to get different things out of it. And I would probably not return to this movie, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy my time watching it.
Exactly.
And I didn't enjoy the experience or that it was a bad movie at all. I just think I got what I needed out of it.
It's a very tough watch, not even just for the body horror, but just for the emotional breakdown that you see of this character. And like at the very end, when she's crying and she's just trying to get people to listen to her and everyone is obviously terrified of her. That's the point where I almost started crying. It's very tough. Yeah. It's a very hard watch. And while, yes, we kind of broke down laughing, that was just due to sheer shock. That wasn't because the movie was funny at all. It's
when the movie got to a point where you could only laugh. You just go, huh? Mm-hmm. Huh? Okay. Whew, okay, we're there. So, in a nutshell, what are your thoughts on The Substance?
I am glad I watched it. I am still processing the entire thing. The shock value is up there. It is a good movie. I'm going to need a very long time before I watch it again.
Right.
And you?
I think it is a very good movie. I think it's definitely worth seeing if you like body horror, if you like kind of a little bit of a bonkers movie. And I do recommend it to people under those circumstances. I think it's good, and I reserve the right to revisit my opinion on this at any time, because I tried to do a car cut on Longlegs, and even the next day I felt differently about it, and I didn't even bother.
That's really interesting, is that I'd love to revisit these like a year later and see our thoughts on it now and have a well thought out idea of it. I will say too, I am not a big body horror fan. Like, I love gore. I love the Saw movies. I'm not big into body specific horror, but I still enjoyed this movie.
Yes.
You have to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
But it's worth the watch for sure.
Absolutely.
Not even just for the horror aspect, but even just like the story of the character herself and her journey, and it's heartbreaking and it's a good story.
Yeah, it's a well-made movie and it's got great acting and cinematography, so it's really good.
Ratings. I am gonna give it 6 out of 7 stabilizers.
6 out of 7, huh? 7 days.
Yeah, because he has 7 days of stabilizer.
That's right.
I pick things for a reason.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with 6 out of 7 too, because I think it's a really good, solid movie. And I know, like, I gave Beetlejuice like a similar rating. And as explanation, I had a great time in that theater, and that is a movie I will watch again. In comparison for this was a really good, like, cinema experience.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's
I'm very
well
glad
made.
we saw it in a cinema.
It's well made. It's really good. It's just one where I'm like, I don't know if I got the stamina to watch that again anytime soon. So that's the explanation for my rating.
I feel like I've been running for like hours right now. Like my body is so tired. Ooh.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Quick Car Cuts.
Make sure to subscribe and let us know what you thought in the comments below.
And while you're down there, make sure you let us know what movies you're excited to see this Halloween season, because I know there were a couple we're excited for.
In the meantime, I got no quippy thing because this movie got to us. So I'm just gonna say, we'll see you on the next video.
Goodbye. Bye.